Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Aktaruzzaman. At this moment, I am to conduct a class for the students of class 9 and 10. And first, I am to give my identity. I am Aktaruzzaman and I am an English teacher of chhatiantala Churamankati High School, Jashore Sadar. Welcome to all my students because in such a situation, already all sorts of educational institutions have been closed. So, in this situation, only they are having an alternative, that is online class facilities, that is teaching learning process for the students of secondary, higher secondary and so on. So, at this moment, I am to give my congratulations to all my students because students know that COVID-19 has grasped all over the world, not only Bangladesh, and every day a lot of people, millions and millions of people, millions and billions of people are attacking by this serious virus, namely COVID-19. So, welcome to all my students and congratulate to all my students to my classes. Dear students, I want to give my identity. Already I have given my identity. Teacher Aktaruzzaman, Assistant English Teacher, Chhatiantala Churamankati High School, Sadar, Jashore. And this class would be conducted for the students of class 9 and 10. And subject would be English second paper, topic tag question. Dear students, certainly you will observe some pictures or images on the top on the slides, and dear students, you must have to recognize, you must have to understand, you must have to know and realize what two girls are doing, what they are doing. Next slide, you can see that what are they doing. They are doing studying, most probably studying. Dear students, you notice another slide, and in this slides what can you see? You see some or several questions. Here having two questions. What can you see on the pictures? Number two questions, do you know what they are studying? Dear students, notice the next slide, solutions. The previous question solutions. Number one question solution, some students are studying. Number two, probably they are studying a complex matter. Dear students, please notice the next slide, and on the next slide what has been written down, today's lesson is tag question. So my dear students, today's lesson would be conducted by me is tag question. So dear students, this is learning outcomes. After completing this lesson, after completing this learning, students will be able to know about these topics, about this item, about these topics. Number one, they will know about tag questions, and they will know use tag questions in different tenses. Dear students, first I am to give the definition of tag questions. So what is the definition of tag question? Because to know something, to know some topics, to know anyone, firstly is needed. That is the definition of tag question. That is what is that. So today I am to discuss about a tag question, and first students, you have to know about tag question. Tag questions meaning is to and and questions means questions. That's why tag question is a type of questions which is added at the end of the sentence. So notice the next slide. In the next slide what has been written down. Dear students, you are observing one by one has been coming on the slide some sentence or some statement. Dear students, please notice some example of tag questions. I have also given some example of tag questions. Number one, fishes swim in water. Number two, they do not live in Chittagong. Number three, he is a liar. Number four, they will go to school. Number 4. Open the door. Number 5. Don't forget me. Number 6. Let's do the work. Number 7. Let them do their work. Number 8. How sweetly the birds sing. Number 9. How fine the flower is. Number 10. There are many problems. And there, students, these are the tag questions. And in the tag question, I have written down some I have written down some symbol, and there are some words have been on the slide under the words having some underline. So dear student, you must have to notice the real problem or real difficulties of the questions. Number one questions you can find out, that is fishes swim in water. Dear students, you must have to understand before solving any tag questions the what or which type of tense this sentence is. Dear students, dear students, you must have to know that this sentence is present indefinite tense, because fishes is subject and swim is verb. So its tag question has turned into don't they. So when in any tag questions having when any tag questions first part having affirmative form, and this affirmative form would be turned into negative form, and its negative form would be its short form. And so I have written down short form of the verb. So I have written down swims, swim negative form don't. And if any tag questions is present in infinite tense and having this tag questions uh, with a principal verb having no auxiliary verb, then the tag questions would be do or uh, do or does, do or does. So and if this tag question is affirmative, then this tag questions last form will be negative short form. So and another important thing, that is subject of the tag questions first form would be the pronoun of the tag questions last form. So I have written down don't and they in a state of fishes. So it is clear that this is present infinite tense and it is affirmative form, and its tag questions last form has been turned into don't, and don't as it is as its first portion is negative affirmative, and so that its second portion has been negative. And fishes uh, is the subject of stack question first form, and as it has turned into they as its a tag question later form of its a pronoun. Number two questions, they do not live in Chittagong. They do not live in Chittagong. Students, this is present indefinite tense and having here two verbs. One is do verb and another is principal verb live, and this is negative form. So this tag question last form would be affirmative form. That is, in the last form of the tag question never be added in a negative form. So I have written down do not when, and it is important to note to each and every student that when any tag questions and verb would be do or don't or does, then its tag questions last form would be the exact verb do does. So Here do has been it's a tag question verb, and they has been turned into it's a pronoun in a state of they. Number three, he is a liar. This is present indefinite tense, and here having is to be verb. So if any tag persons having to be verb, that is am, is, or was, were, then its tag persons last form would be the same verb, that is to be verb, that is am, is, or was, were, and this is affirmative form, so its tag person would be negative. That's isn't and he instead of he, because his pronoun must be he, having no sense here. Number four, they will not go to school. They will not. This is future indefinite tense and having uh, this tense into negative form. So this third person would be affirmative form when if any sentence would be added into modal auxiliary verb, that is can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, then the tag persons must be the exact verb, that is modal auxiliary verb. So I have written down this tag persons will, they, although it is a negative form, so its tag person last form has been turned into affirmative form, and they instead of they is pronoun, and instead of subject of this sentence they. Number four, open the door. This is imperative sentence. When if any imperative sentence having when if any sentence of a tag persons is remain imperative sentence, and this sentence important to note each and every students that any sorts of imperative sentence starts with a verb. So if any imperative sentence is needed or is required to turn into tag person, then will you or won't you would be a tag form, never would be changed. And you, dear students, will be so much surprised. In the tag person's imperative form, open the door, having no you. That is this tag person's this tag person's subject is omitted. So important note is an every student that he, any sorts of imperative sentence subject might be omitted. So it is natural or it is compulsory to turn into tag person of an imperative sentence will you or won't you. It is compulsory, it is obligatory. Number five, don't forget me. This is also another imperative sentence, and this imperative sentence would be turned into will you, because will you, here the sentence would not be want to, because this is a negative form of imperative sentence. So here negative form want is not required to add, is not required to set up. Number six, let's do the work. When in any tag question is started with let's, then tag question's last form would be shall we. This is compulsory, this is obligatory, this is exact, this is fixed. Number seven, let them do their work. When if any tag questions is started with let them, let you, let he, that is when any tag question is not start with let us, or start with let them, let you, let he, let she, then the tag question would be will you, would be will you. Number eight, how sweetly the birds sing. This is exclamatory sentence, and this sentence start with the how, and the tag form of this sentence would be don't they, would be don't they. This is affirmative form having a negative form, so its tag questions would be don't. And the birds is plural form of plural form, that is the birds is the subject of the sentence, and when the stack questions would be completed then they must be added as its pronoun instead of the birds. Number 9, how fine the flower is. This is also exclamatory sentence, and this sentence uh, is affirmative form, and this affirmative form forms a tag question would be isn't it. The filler, this is one singular subject, so its a tag question it would be as its pronoun, and isn't would be its tag question verb, because this sentence is affirmative. Number 10, there are many problems. This is affirmative sentence, and this sentence is past indefinite, so warrant this is necessary or normal, and there when in any sentence or in any tag question is started with there, then it's a tag question for last form would be there as its pronoun. So dear students, I want to conduct questions. Dear students, in the next slide you notice some questions. One questions, they are having one questions, the what is helping verb or operator. What is helping verb or operator? Answers: at the time of forming tag questions, the used auxiliary verbs that are called helping verb or operator. I want to repeat this question. This is very important thing. What is helping verb or operator? Answers: at the time of forming tag questions, the used auxiliary verb that are called helping verb or operator. Students, you must have to remember one important thing, that is without helping verb, without modal auxiliary verb, without do verb, without have verb, no tag question is formed. So uh, helping verb or operator is so much important to make a or to create a tag questions. Dear students, notice another slide. What can you see on the slide? You can notice or you can observe some operator. In previous slides, I told what is operator or helping verb. Generally, these are helping verb or operator. With this verb, with this operator, any sorts of tag question is created, any sorts of tag question is made. So I want to utter, I want to observe, I want to identify some operators. These operators are am, is, are, was, were, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, has, have, had, do, does, did, ought, dare, need, and so on. These are helping verb or operator. Without this helping verb or operator, any sorts of tag question is not possible to create. Am, is, are, was, were, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, has, have, had, do, does, did, ought, dare, need, etc. Students, you must have to remember, you must have to understand, you must have to memorize this verb, because this verb is so important. So, dear students, notice one by one what is coming on the slide. Coming on the slides, dear students, some tag questions, some tag forms. To create or to make any tag question is needed tag forms. Am not, it's a tag form aren't. am not, its step form would be aren't. When any students or anyone uh, is needed or required to make any sentence to turn into tag, then when this sentence having uh, bit after subject am not, then its tag form would be aren't. Did not, didn't. Do not, don't. Is not, isn't. Are not, aren't. Was not, was. Will not, won't. Shall not, shan't. Can not, can't. May not, mayn't. Must not, must. Ought not, ought not. Has not, hasn't. These are the tag forms, and these forms is so much important to create any tag question. So, dear students, notice this slide, and in this slides what has been written down. Evaluation. Prepare the following sentence into tag forms. Prepare the following sentence into tag form. Number one, I am to utter or I am to read. He would like to do it. Number two, or number B, they may go there. Number C, the boy played well. Number D, Mr. Roy has decided to do it. Number E, Shima was Shima was not ready for it. Number I, don't make a noise. Number G, let's say meet with him. Number H, what a nice bird it is. Number I, make a fun for me. Number J, I am a boy. Number K, 2 and 2 makes 4. Dear students, for your future and for your great or good preparation, and to give some exercise for completing sitting at your home, and it will be so much helpful if you able to complete this tag portion by the help of others. And dear students, thank you for everyone, because at this moment we have reached at the last situation, last moment of this class, and for this reason, everyone would be so much mindful, because already short syllabus for the students of class uh, 10, or that is candidate for the SSC exam, already supplied by each and every institutions, because Ministry of Education already provided this short syllabus for the candidate of SSC. So, and tag questions is on type of uh, portion, one time grammatical item, and it is not rejected from the short syllabus. So, dear student, get prepared yourself, and this is tag question. This tag questions, that is this grammatical item, is one of the easiest item. So try and ensure to make 5 marks from this tag question. Thanks a lot for everyone. Good luck, and keep stay home, and follow the health hygiene, and avoid mixing with crowds, and be serious with your studies. In my next class, I will uh, explain the tag questions later or last part, and hoping you must be happy, and always carry on your studies. Thanks a lot.